So, I have made videos that I didn't really want to make, and also videos I really wanted to make. But this video is a mixture of the two at its most extreme. I wanted to make this video more than any other video I have made because it's something deeply personal to me. But it's also a video I've dreaded ever making because I don't know what's going to happen after it's out there. But I finally have my chance to make this video. I've already put it off for too long and this might be my last chance. I've alluded to this situation a couple of times now, and I know a lot of you are curious, you have a lot of questions. Well, in this video, I'll finally be answering them. This video will be about the DeviantArt ranting community. You know, the community people like Icy Hazard, Sonic93, Stories, and Pentagon are from. There's a reason why I went after these people whenever I got the chance. Most of them didn't do anything to me personally, but they were still a part of the community, or helped found the community that I hate the most. But the people I'm talking about today, Lulu, Geeky Girl Heather, Broken Muse, Levi, That Crazy Cat Critic, Beatrice, aka Foxy, Hopeless Romantic, and a few others, are people who have went after me and hurt me more than anyone else. Unlike all my other videos, this one is personal. The hardest part about making this video is a lot of the proof has been deleted. Not by me, of course, the group I'm talking about. I also recommend before watching this video that you check out my video on how I almost committed self-deletion, and my videos on Sonic93, Icy Hazard, and Stories in Pentagon. Alright, I can't put this off any longer. Let's begin.
What we do here is go back.
So, about 6 or 7 years ago, I was a big fan of Sonic93. I really enjoyed her videos. In retrospect, I have no idea why. While I did agree with a lot of her points, I also thought she was a bit too aggressive and didn't really want to help the person she was talking about. After the whole drama with Yoshi V1, I decided to join the DeviantArt ranting community and try to change it from the inside out. I wanted to show the community that instead of just attacking someone, they can help them change. Don't just punish bad behavior, but reward good behavior. I was pretty new to the internet and isolated for most of my life, so I was, pretty naive. At the time, the DeviantArt ranting community was going after someone by the name of Princess Elizabeth 013. I'm sure a few of you have put 2 and 2 together and figured out who I am. That is right. I am CO. CO author.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Well, that's what a very, very small percentage of you are thinking. Most of you are probably thinking, who? But no one was giving her a chance. They just kept on getting angrier and angrier at her. Most of them weren't angry at me, but a couple of them were. All of this boiled over when she was in a Google Hangout with a few people who didn't like her. It was a really long time ago, and I can't remember exactly what she said. Something to do with the word gunshot. I think she was saying something along the lines of putting a gun up to one of her haters' heads and pulling the trigger. I believe the person by the name was Melody, but I'm not 100% sure, started crying hysterically. Princess Elizabeth was very confused and said, "I don't know what the heck is happening." People in the call, which includes the group of people I've mentioned earlier, got enraged with her. How dare she make another girl cry? And that was one of my major issues. It wasn't what she did, it was how people react. As the old saying goes, offense is taken, not given. But if someone just saying gunshot makes you cry, then you're a pussy. I pointed this out and then the group went after me. We're gonna call the group the Heather Pack. Geeky Girl Heather contacted me through private notes on DeviantArt and kept on referring to Princess Elizabeth as my precious princess. Considering I was 19 at the time and she was 13 or 14, she was basically calling me a pedophile. She made other insults like calling me a white knight, and threats that if I didn't change my behavior, I would end up on Encyclopedia Dramatica. I tried to calmly explain things to her, but no matter what I said, she would take the least charitable interpretation possible, or take what I say out of context. Eventually I couldn't take it anymore, not just from her, but from everyone, and I called her Dollface and Babe. She replied with, "Fuck you, I'm married," and blocked me. I was very confused. I wasn't using Dollface to hit on her, I was using it as a demeaning insult. I don't normally hit on women over the internet, especially if they're insulting me and are over 10 years my age. Yeah, Heather is over 30. And she's almost 40 now. A couple days later, I ended up in the White Knight section of Princess Elizabeth, with screenshots of the conversation between me and geeky girl Heather, which proves I'm not one of her White Knights, but whatever. Now, let me go through this step by step. Heather said to me, if I didn't stop what I was doing, I would end up on ED, even though I already stopped doing what I was doing. The screenshots that were put on Encyclopedia Dramatica were from a private conversation between me and Heather that only me and her had access to. So, she threatened me that I would end up on ED, and I did end up on ED. This will be important later. After this, I fell to a very terrible temptation. I made a journal entry, bashing Elizabeth 013. I was just so sick of all the hate I was getting, and I thought if I denounced her, it would finally stop. And in a way, it kind of did. A bunch of people approached me, they were being very kind to me, and my favorite rancher at the time, Hyperbeam Evie, offered me to be in a video with her. I of course jumped on the opportunity. I said a few bad things about Princess Elizabeth, and I still regret it to this day. She was already getting a ton of hate, some deserved, a lot undeserved, but to see one of the people who was trying to end the fighting turn against her must have really hurt her on a personal level. And what happened to me later was probably penance for my sin. After that video, a lot of people were supporting me. They were constantly comforting me and saying things like, I'm so sorry for what Princess Elizabeth did to you. And all I could think was, guy, she really didn't do anything to me. It was more so Heather than her. And when I name dropped Heather, the Heather pack came after me. I didn't know how they would all come at the same time and be so coordinated. Later I found out they all hung out in the same Google Hangout. They even went after me with things that were unrelated to them, like when I made a death battle joke about ISIS, the group from Archer, versus ISIS, the other group in a Middle Eastern country. They got super offended and angry at me, as if I was supporting this group or something. I was really confused about it. Now all of them went after me, but the two who were the most aggressive were Beatrice, aka Foxy, and Shadowfan, who's now known as that crazy cat critic. In an interview with Akai Dahlia, she shares her experience with Shadowfan.
Shadowfan29, and later she changed her nickname to that crazy cat critic. And when I disabled it, when I decided to leave her DeviantArt, she created the account on DeviantArt to stalking me.
That's creepy.
Really? Yes, she did.
Eventually, Foxy gave me a link to a Google Hangout, and I met the Heather pack, everyone except for Heather herself. Now, they were confused of how I joined. I told them how I joined, and they pretended that they didn't know who I was. Now, I totally knew they did, but I decided to play along. They said they would help me out with all the people who were attacking me if I only delete my joke of ISIS versus ISIS. I didn't want to at first, but I thought, maybe if I meet them halfway, they'll understand what they're doing is wrong, and they'll end this whole stupid drama. Yeah, this is a mistake I've made constantly. I kept on trying to meet them halfway, but they never accepted anything. But this was the first and pretty much only moment they were ever kind to me. After I deleted my post, they revealed who they were, I pretended to be shocked, and they apologized to me one after another, everyone except for Beatrice, and I asked her, tell me, what exactly did I do wrong? She burst out laughing, then left the call. Now I have apologized profusely for my horrible crime of calling Heather Dollface one time. Oh, and Heather also claimed I called her baby doll. I never called her that. I've never called anyone that. Now we planned out a call with Heather, and I asked if Foxy could stay out of the call, considering she would do everything in her power to rile me up, and if I said anything back to her, they would all get mad at me. They agreed to these terms, and eventually I did a call with Heather. We had a superb, excellent conversation. We apologized to one another and went our separate ways. And we never spoke to one another ever again. Wait, hang on, there's a typo in my script. Oh yeah, that didn't happen. The first thing Heather said to me was, "Why, CO? Why did you keep this drama going for so long? Why did you put me through all of this?" And all I could think was, "Bitch, I'm in a call with your friends right now. I'm surrounded by all sides. What's wrong with you?" But instead I said, "I'll answer that question with another question. Why did you keep this going for so long?" Now, before this call started, we set up rules of what we could say and what we could not say. Broken Muse immediately said that I couldn't say that. I couldn't answer a question by asking another question. Now, this was not a rule prior. This was when I realized no matter what I did, Broken Muse would just add more rules. Rules that I had to follow to a T, but not them. Heather denied that she had to do anything with the private notes between me and her ending up on ED. She didn't put them up there, she just screenshot them and sent them to a few of her friends. One of them must have put them up there. I said, "Alright, which of your friends was it? Let's do an investigation and figure out which one it was." Now, of course, Heather was the one who did it. But if we did an investigation, we would find out it was her for sure. She was freaking out, like, a ton. And talking to her was impossible. I had to constantly walk on eggshells around her. Any little thing would set her off. She claims she doesn't have an ED and doesn't even know how Encyclopedia Dramatica works. Kind of suspicious that she used me ending up on there as a threat if she doesn't know how to use it, but whatever. One of the members of the Heather Pack, ShadowFan29, even said I was the one who put those up on ED. What fourth dimensional chess am I even playing? So I somehow knew in advance that Heather would contact me, threaten me that I would end up on ED, then created an ED, put them up myself, which is not a smart idea to put yourself up on ED, then accuse Heather of it. This plan makes no sense at all. After the call, I complained to Broken Muse that Heather did break one of the rules, but I was done talking about the situation. Keep in mind, I said this in a private DM. A few days later, it was my mother's birthday, and we were going to Soup Plantation. Heather, Lulu, Broken Muse, and the rest of the Heather Pack were making a live stream, talking shit about me, and spreading lies about me. They even took the quote where someone asked me how I felt about being on ED, and I said, "I don't mind." And they twisted it into me saying it was the best thing that ever happened to me. I have been mistranslated a few times in my life, but how do you turn "I don't mind" into the best thing that ever happened to me? "Hey, there's a cat sleeping on your car." I don't mind. "What? A cat sleeping on your car is the best thing that ever happened to you?" What? I was really hurt. People were turning against me, saying things like, "They gave you so many chances. You don't deserve another one," even though I really don't feel like I got a single one. People called me a pedo because I didn't know Heather's age, even though she's 10 years older than me. And I wasn't hitting on her, I was giving a demeaning insult, but whatever. I was hurt, but I was also so isolated and had so few friends that when they invited me to join their group, I said yes. Maybe over time we can mend some fences, and they can see what they did was wrong. Eventually I got into an interview with Lulu, and Broken Muse was there as well. They made sure to twist anything I said into the worst version it was possible. I apologized to Heather during the interview, and Broken Muse said, "If you're done with this, you're going to say, without hesitation, that this whole situation is over and done with." And I said, because I was so scared, "It's over and done with. It's over and done with." After the interview, Geeky Girl Heather, Levi, and I think someone else left giant comments bashing me. As the old saying goes, rules for thee, not for me. Eventually, over time, and a lot of hard work, Lulu made a video saying that what happened to me was wrong. She did say that I did awful things, and that no one can deny that. Yeah, the awful crime of calling someone dollface one time. But she did admit that the whole situation went way too far and that we needed to go our separate ways. I got into a call with Lulu and thanked her profusely. I was finally glad that the whole situation was over. Oh wait, sorry, there's another typo in my script. Oh yeah, it still wasn't over. Lulu later did a live interview with geeky girl Heather. I was watching it and Heather mentioned that I was the worst person she ever had to deal with. I made a joke saying, lol, imagine if I said something like this. You guys would say I'm bringing up the situation. It's a good thing you guys don't have to follow your own rules. To which Levi started freaking out saying I was bringing the situation up again. Yep. Pointing out that if I did this, it would count as me bringing up the situation, counted as me bringing up the situation. You cannot make this shit up. Someone made a journal on DA about Lulu, I left a comment on it, and Lulu made a video of herself crying her eyes out. And in her words, a whole 3 people came to talk with her. Oh no, 3 people? That's horrible. I was dealing with like 33 a day, shut the fuck up. They said that because I left a comment on the journal, that I was fully responsible for it, and it was my fault that Lulu had a panic attack. And the guy who made the journal on Lulu took it down. I was invited to another call with them. I was crying profusely and apologizing for what I did to Lulu. They said that it wasn't good enough, and that I was a monster, an emotional abuser. And I had no empathy at all. Ironically, they were trying to manipulate my empathy with those statements, but again, whatever. One thing I remember Heather saying is that she thinks I'm a nice boy, but for what I did, she can never, ever forgive me. And I agree, Heather. I am a nice boy, and you can never forgive me, because I have nothing to be sorry for. You stupid fucking bitch. Now, last time they did a live stream on me, they said that was the last one and they promised they wouldn't do another one. And they said after this, it's the last one, and they won't do another one. I'm sure they were telling the truth. Things went way downhill and everything's kind of a blur. I remember I sent a private DM to Shadowfan asking why she was so nice to me before, but so cruel to me now, to which she did a video on me, saying that I was bringing up the situation again. Now I want to make this clear, all I have done was talk to them privately. I did not make a journal, I did not make a video, or anything else about them. But people kept on making comments saying I was at fault. I was the one who needed to stop. I was the one who was making this situation worse, even though I didn't do anything! I think the Heather pack at this time kicked Shadowfan out of their friend group. I don't really know why or if it was around this time, but I know they did. I asked them if I finally leave and start a new YouTube identity, that they would stop making videos about me and leave me alone. They agreed to it. And after I left, Levi made a video on Lulu's channel saying that I was a coward and I ran away. They are aware they're lying, but they don't care. After that, things settled down for a little bit. I was invited to a few Skype groups and some people were still on my side, thinking that what happened to me was wrong. Unfortunately, because I was in such an emotionally fragile state, I cried a lot, and I'm going to genuinely apologize for how much I was crying back then. I was really close to being at the end of my rope and committing self-deletion. Like most people, I am uncomfortable crying in front of others, but if it's over the phone, I'm a lot more comfortable with it. And I had a lot of emotions that were boiling up for several years that were all finally coming out. In retrospect, I should have just gone to a therapist or something, and I do cringe at how much I was crying back then, even to this day. My parents tried to suppress my emotions for far too long, and even I was suppressing them. Luckily nowadays I avoid crying in front of people. Unless I'm not sober, I tend to fail when that happens. It was nice to be comforted by people for once in my life, but I really abused it and I'm truly sorry for what I did. I hope people can forgive me for what I did. But then simultaneously, 2 things happened one after another, which finally made me leave the internet for several months. I was part of a Skype group with 3 girls and a couple of other people, but the 3 girls mostly used it. 2 of them were in their 20s and one of them was a teenager, at least from what I can remember. They were really fun to talk to. I would stay on Skype with them until I fell asleep. They helped my self-esteem a lot. I told them what happened to me and they took my side. They were helping my confidence a lot, and I was starting to feel a lot better. But one day, 2 of them got in a fight. One blocked the other and didn't want to talk to her. I talked to both of them along with a 3rd girl who was neutral. Eventually, I got them both to unblock one another, talk things out, apologize to each other, and they became friends again. I was extremely happy about what I did. I thought I finally found a group who accepted me, but as the old saying goes, no good deed goes unpunished. I woke up the next day to find out that they both blocked me. Everything I've told you guys now in this video I also told them. But because I left out one part of the story unintentionally, and that part I left out doesn't even make me look bad, the part where I tried to help Princess Elizabeth be a better person, they both decided to block me, simultaneously, without even talking to me first. That was the moment I truly considered self-deletion, because even if I help out a group this much, the next day they will turn on me and kick me out. Combined with everything that happened in my life and what just happened with Lulu and the others, I felt like I didn't belong anywhere and the world would have been a better place without me. Then Jinx Drowned, a really popular person in the DeviantArt ranking community at the time, made a DeviantArt journal on me, saying that I nearly pushed Scorn into committing self-deletion. Now I know what you're all thinking. Huh? Who is Scorn? Oh, that's a good question. I don't have an answer for it. I have literally no idea who Scorn is, even to this day. I don't even know if they said they almost committed self-deletion because of me, but I know Jinx Drowned did. This led a flood of comments from people saying that I'm a monster, a murderer, and plenty of other things. I apologized even though I didn't do anything. In fact, to this day, for all I know, Scorn could have been one of Jinx's sock puppet accounts. And people just said to me, it doesn't matter if you didn't do anything to him. It doesn't matter if you insulted him or not. What's horrible about you is how you made him feel. If you're truly sorry, then bring him back to life and give him back to us. Yeah, with Scorn, Lulu, and Heather, it never mattered what I did to them. It mattered how I made them feel. And they get upset by literally anything. And if I want to fix things, I literally have to bring people back from the dead. Oh, and Scorn is still alive, by the way. He or she is perfectly fine. I literally don't even know what gender they are, but I think they're a he. But one thing's for certain, Scorn was definitely the scorn of my existence. For once, I decided to fight back. I made a video about Jinx, but I made it unlisted. I sent it to a few people so they could check it out and make sure everything was okay. But someone who I thought I could trust linked it to Jinx and her fans started attacking it. Now, I did talk to Lulu before making the video, and for once Lulu was somewhat taking my side and thought that Jinx was lying about me. I took a screenshot of our conversation and put it in the video. Unfortunately, my screenshot also showed her Skype information. I didn't do it intentionally, but I think she thought I did. But here's the thing, I was going to show her the video, and if she told me to take the part out, I would have taken it out. But the thing is, someone else found the video, and Jinx made the video public to everyone. Later, Lulu and her friend at the time, Icy Hazard, yes, that Icy Hazard. Both Lulu and Icy Hazard asked me to take the video down. I didn't want to because if I did, it would make it seem that Jinx was the one who got me to take it down. And Lulu has leaked even more personal stuff about me in her videos, and she took forever to take them down, but after she took them down, she would just put them back up later. In fact, after I left the internet, she put up pretty much every bad video she made about me. But later she took them down again. Now if you guys seen my video on Icy Hazard, you know just how unbelievably stupid she can be. Also, I will admit, I did make a lie in that video. I said in that video that I never heard about her until I made that video. I lied because at the time I didn't want her to find out who I was, or anyone to find out who I was. Icy Hazard and Lulu said things like, Jinx is done with this situation. She's not going to make another journal about you. And only a few minutes later, Jinx made another journal about me. There was a moment when Icy Hazard said, you're a grown man and Jinx is only a 14-year-old girl. And I said, 14-year-old girl? Interesting. So was Princess Elizabeth 013, to which she said, well, not every 14-year-old is the same. Yeah. Jinx doesn't have autism, and Princess Elizabeth does. Icy Hazard, you're a fucking moron. If geeky girl Heather, who's in her 30s, can go after Princess Elizabeth 013, then I can go after Jinx if she's lying about me. Eventually, I decided to take down the video, and I asked Lulu if she was proud of me, and all Lulu and Icy Hazard said to me was, "You need to stop seeking approval out from others." I did everything they wanted me to do, and they didn't do anything for me in return. And the next day, Dan, one of the members of the Heather Pack, pretty much the only member who was on my side and thought what was happening to me was wrong, messaged me with a long paragraph-long comment of how I'm a horrible, evil person. Did I say anything back? Of course not, because after he left it, he blocked me. Pretty sure Lulu told him a story about me and twisted it to make it sound as horrible as possible, even though I did exactly what she wanted me to do. Now, unfortunately for everything I've just said, there isn't a whole lot of evidence for it. Lulu and the other members of the Heather Pack did what they could to delete everything. But Jinx's journal, along with the comments on her journal about me, still exist. And to end this video off, I will be covering her journal, along with most of the comments left under it. After this journal, I'll move on because this really needs to be said. Not once did I claim that CO personally insulted Scorn, or any of that. He's lied when I ever said that. Well, I never claimed you said I insulted Scorn. I was asking, what have I ever done to Scorn? Did I insult him? That would be hard because I never had a conversation with him. What Jinx just did was twist what I say to make it into a lie, so she could claim that I lied. The reason Scorn tried to commit self-deletion was because his life at home is fucked up. He comes online to get away from that. Oh, interesting. So exactly what I was going through. But I'm subhuman garbage, so it doesn't matter when it's happening to me, right? However, when you try to worm your way into our little group of friends and turn us against one another, that meant Scorn would lose us all, including me. And Scorn has made it clear he doesn't want that. Okay, now my intentions were to turn people against one another. But how was I doing that exactly? Could you please explain? I'm very confused. Also, how pathetic is your group of friends? According to you, Scorn almost lost all of you, including you, because of some random nobody who didn't even have 100 subscribers, and his intentions weren't to harm anyone. Man, if you had this hard of a time with someone with less than 100 subscribers, imagine going up against someone with over 100,000 subscribers. That is why he tried to commit self-deletion, not because of some insults. Scorn is much stronger than that. Well, I wasn't implying if he was weak or not. I was just asking, why is someone who I don't even know trying to commit self-deletion because of me? But now I am going to imply he's weak because, seriously? Some guy he's never even talked to is making him commit self-deletion? I had to go through this entire community turning against me, accusing me of so many different things, including this, and he's the one who wants to commit self-deletion. He's the one everyone is comforting. Really? Now, I don't need to present proof for that. I totally agree with you, Jinx. You don't need to provide any proof. If it's something bad about me, people will believe it regardless. Because several people already have. If you think others, please contact... She lists a bunch of different people who didn't like me at the time, who also, as far as I'm aware, have no proof of what I did. Shocking. I could probably mention more, but I think providing this many people is enough. Well, I have a message to 6 to 8 of those people. Bring it on, baby. And they can tell you a lot about the things he did too. Now have a good night, Jinx. I still can't believe I trusted him. The fact that he friended me immediately after I talked to him should have been a flag, cause that doesn't happen often. It doesn't? It happens all the time to me. I get friend requests from people on Discord after I talked with them once. I get friend requests from people who haven't even talked to me. Someone wanting to be friends with you doesn't sound bad at all. If you think it's a little weird, maybe it's because they're lonely and not because they're evil. Not to mention the fact that he said he sometimes needs someone to hear him cry. That is an outright lie. I never said that. I think I did say something along the lines of, Sometimes when I'm feeling down, I really need a friend beside me to help me through it. Which is quite self-absorbed. It is, too bad it's not true. Not to mention, he made a very inappropriate joke about my friend Sarah. I did? What was the joke? And if I did make an inappropriate joke, how bad was it? And even if I did, it's not that big of a deal. Oh my god, guys! A teenage boy made an inappropriate joke. And he also told me he's asexual, which I don't believe worth a shit. Oh my god, guys. I need to come forward. I did claim that I was asexual 5 years ago. I know it's the worst crime anyone committed, ever. Someone becoming a young adult and being confused about his sexuality? Why, I've never. Also, you do realize Jinx claimed to be pansexual at 14, right? He just made the video private after I left 2 comments on it, woo! Actually, I made the video private because Lulu and Icy Hazard asked me to. I was afraid something like this would happen, and it did. But this video is up if you want to leave 2 comments on it. Ooh. And even then, you weren't the only person commenting on it. How self-absorbed are you? You think you took me down all by yourself? I can relate to Scorn when it comes to using the internet and online friends to get away from my fucked up personal life. Well, I went through the same thing, so can you relate to me now? Or am I just pure evil because Jinx said so? But hey, I was both Scorn and Seo in this situation. Wait, what? So are you saying both me and Scorn went through the same situation and you can relate to it? Or are you saying you also nearly pushed someone into committing self-deletion without even talking to them or knowing who they were? I'm just glad Scorn is okay, though. I am as well. It's amazing how someone can say they're going to commit self-deletion and then be fine a couple of days later. When I was having struggles about staying alive, it took me months, nearly a year, to get over it. Seo is just a lying asshole who wants to get attention from people and victimize himself. Really, I'm the one victimizing myself. Not the guy who's saying he's committing self-deletion because of me, even though I've never talked to him. And I just want attention from people? I always hated this argument. You're just doing this for attention. If that's true, then why are you giving me attention? And am I doing it for attention now? I have over 100,000 subscribers. I've never asked nor wanted attention from your tiny community. You guys are just incredibly self-absorbed. It defies all logic. Okay, you move on. I think this guy needs to get his head whacked a few times by the Bible he so blindly reads and fails to follow. Okay, first of all, I don't really read the Bible. I'm dyslexic as fuck. But I guess I am just one of those crazy Christians. I mean, just look at my channel. I can't stop talking about the Bible. I brought up like 2 verses in my Butch Hartman video, and another verse in my SC video. I don't want to call them what they actually are because YouTube will demonetize me. But in all seriousness, I really don't talk about the Bible too much on my YouTube channel. And even back then, I don't really think I talked about the Lord that much. Keep in mind, I was homeschooled in a Christian household practically all my life. Now, I know this guy says he wants to whack my head in with the Bible, but I don't think it's out of violence. I think he just means he wants to educate me on it. Let's keep reading his comment to see what else he says. Heck, I'll even use a blunt cross and bash him a few times. Oh, okay, Jinx fans are threatening violence against me now. I don't blame Jinx for this. I'm sure my fans have threatened people with violence before who I've talked about. But of course, this person doesn't get called out at all in 5 years. If I said something like this, there would be mass panic in the streets. But as always, rules for D, not for me. But I'm now a pretty strong guy, so if you want to meet up, buddy, my only question is, do you want 3 or 4 ribs broken? Goddamn, my bipolar is acting up again. I'll hold myself back now. Sorry about that gruesome thought. Uh-oh, someone's using their disability as an excuse. Something they accused me of doing but can't prove it. But I have proof right here. He's asked me to message you so many times. I'm guessing it was like 2 or 3. And as far as I can remember, even though I don't remember who you were, but assuming you're telling the truth, I'm going to assume I asked you because you were my only line to Jinx because Jinx blocked me. Oh dear God! I don't know what that face is supposed to be. Yeah, he even tried to guilt trip me because he made a video for me, ... and he used that to make me feel sorry for him. Again, how self-absorbed are these people? I didn't make the video for you, specifically. And make people feel sorry for me? All I did was show Jinx calling me a Mortimer, which is what she did, and I'm surprised you're not upset with her. And I also made the video to say, I have no idea who Scorn was. In fact, to this day, 5 years later, I still don't know who Scorn is! Okay, this next comment is going to be a complete pain to read because there's no punctuation in it whatsoever. This is really good response because this is just a stopping point. You didn't want any more of this drama. Do you know who else didn't want any more of this drama? Me. I had a whole bunch of journals and videos made about me, spreading lies about me, and all I did was make an unlisted video. That's it. If Jinx didn't want this drama to keep going, she could have not made this journal. Also, this is not a good response, because it has no evidence or anything. It's just words. CO shouldn't do anything either. He should just drop it now. This was like the whole drama. Someone would make a video or a journal on me, then afterwards people would say, CO, you're a bad person, but the drama needs to end. You need to bury the hatchet. Then they would do another video or another journal, and another one, and another one, and another one. It's a little hard for me to bury the hatchet when I didn't even bring a hatchet. And the only hatchet I have is the one currently being embedded into me while I'm apologizing to Lulu, Heather, or Jinx that I'm getting blood on their hatchet. And so should everyone else. Well, there's a journal after Jinx I'm going to talk about next, but I'm sure you didn't hate on him for it, because it's only bad when I do it. No, wait, scratch that. It's only bad when someone does it to me, but I still get the blame for it. Yeah, he would also message me every single fucking day. Okay, I'm pretty sure this person is exaggerating, but even if they aren't, it sounds to me that I was just lonely, and please stop messaging me so much would have been nice for you to say. And the thing is, ... I don't know how he found out about me. He was never one of my watchers, and I didn't even give out my Skype to friends and a couple of watchers. Then that was it. Okay, I'm a little confused by this person's wording. I think they meant to say I only gave out my Skype to a few friends and a couple of my watchers, and that's it. Now, I don't really remember how I found your Skype, but I probably said to someone, hey, what's this person's Skype? I want to make new friends. And they said, oh, it's this, and then I messaged you. It happens to me all the time on Discord, and I really don't care. People message me every day on Discord. I either don't reply or say, please stop messaging me so much. I know you're trying to make me out to be the worst person in existence, but to me, at worst, it sounds like what I did was mildly annoying. I got so uncomfortable to the point where I had to make up lies and actually ask that person if I could join calls with her and add CO in. Wow, what a dirty liar we have on our hands. Can I call you and add someone in? Sure. Despicable. Worst lies I've heard in my life. Like, what I'm doing is so mild, and they're making it sound so bad. I don't understand. Why did you have to make up lies? It doesn't add up at all. I was too uncomfortable to be alone with him. ... Yeah, I mean, after all, I've done so many horrible things. Like, make people feel uncomfortable. I don't know how I did that, but apparently I did. I remember I would cry to people and beg to them to tell me what exactly I did wrong. And all they would say is, you made this person feel uncomfortable, or you made this person upset. And then I would scream, how did I do that? And they could never tell me how. And by the off chance they did tell me how, it seemed like a pretty small reason to be upset over. I really don't blame you. Not once did I talk with him alone. Oh, you were smart to do that. I could have done absolutely nothing to you. 'Cause we're talking across the internet and not in a dark alley. If you haven't blocked him already, block him now. You don't want this guy going to you for pity points. Yeah, and you also don't want this person hearing both sides of the story. Oh, once I had the courage to go back to Skype, that was the first thing I did. Oh my god, this person is just stunning and brave. You went back to Skype, and you blocked someone? Ooh, watch out, we have a badass here. This person goes on to repeat themselves, and Jinx goes on to speculate about how I was trying to get into a call with her, you know, talk things out like adults, but she never fell for my evil scheme. Now, there are a few more comments I could go over, but they're nothing but insults, as pretty much all the other comments were. I'll just put them up on screen for you guys to look at. Now, Jinx made a journal about Scorn, quote-unquote, no longer being with us, and talking about how she wanted to commit self-deletion at the end. And the comments are full of a few people insulting me, but mostly people giving her pity, saying how sorry they feel for her, and how they'll be there for her. So yes, even when one of her friends is going through self-deletion, Jinx has to make it about her committing self-deletion, and getting a bunch of pity points from people. But I'm the one who wants pity points, not Jinx. It's just, I just can't get over how stupid all of this is. Now, I am done with Jinx's stuff, but I still have one more person to go over. And this is why I haven't talked about this situation until now. It's because, well, this person doxed me. I didn't want to talk about this situation because, well, my dox would be out there and everybody would know about it. But once a YouTuber hits over 100,000 subscribers, they reach that threshold where people want to dox them. And when are people usually specifically doxed? Well, it's when people are mad at them, if they did something wrong or they're accused of doing something wrong. So let's just say, in an alternate reality where I never talked about this situation and I got doxed in the future, let's say at 250k subs, people are going to find out about these journals and bring it up to me and ask, why didn't I talk about this? What am I trying to hide? I'm sure if I talked to Lulu before this video, she would tell me something like, oh, CO, that would never happen. Sure, bitch, yeah, it wouldn't.
See? They like each other.
I'm not going to let these people get the drop on me like they have done so many times. It's my chance to hit them first for once in my life. Alright, I put this off long enough. Let's get to the last journal. So, CO author, now just some guy 9001. That's true, after my CO author account got bashed, I deleted it and created a new account called just some guy 9001. But during the whole Scorn situation with Jinx, I quickly deleted that account too. But I decided to keep one part of my old name, the just part, and I became just a robot. Drove Scorn into committing self-deletion. Now that is a lie, but you already know how it's a lie, so I'm not going to repeat myself. Apparently, he got pissed because one girl wouldn't call him on Skype, and he likely took it out on internal Scorn. Oh, that's his name! I know about the Scorn part, not the eternal part. Now I have a few questions. Who was this girl who didn't call me on Skype? Was this Jinx or Heather after they blocked me and were bashing me? Do you have any proof of this allegation? Also, I likely took it out on Scorn? I actually didn't, because I didn't know who Scorn was. In fact, I would say I likely didn't take it out on Scorn. It wasn't specified what happened. Really? It wasn't? Well, the answer is simple. Nothing did, because I didn't know who the person was. But I'll try to piece things together. That's a very nice way of saying you'll accuse me of stuff I didn't do. At the time, Scorn was suffering from depression, as shown here. The link leads to nothing, as always. But assuming it did exist, I'm pretty sure it was just words with no evidence. As always. From what I could gather, CO got to Scorn and likely assaulted him? I assaulted someone? When? Do you have any evidence? So now, not only did I drive someone into committing self-deletion without ever talking to them or even knowing of their existence, but now I assaulted someone over the internet somehow, along with not talking to this person, never meeting them, having no idea who they are. This is what I was constantly putting up with. People making absurd allegations about me, then someone else taking those allegations, twisting them, and making a new allegation. I was Sio's friend during the time he was bashed for defending Elizabeth. I wasn't really defending her so much as I was saying, hey, give her a chance, try to help her change instead of just insulting her, but whatever. He even put my reputation at risk by having me talk to Geeky Girl Heather on his behalf. I have a quick question. Why did I do that? Oh yeah, she had me blocked, and she was bashing me. And also, who's really at fault here for damaging your reputation? Is it me, who said, hey, could you talk to this person who blocked me? Or is it Heather, who freaked out when you talked to her about someone who she had blocked? The fact that your reputation was almost ruined by talking to someone says so much about this community. Sio, or better yet, then he uses my real first name and last name, which I'm pretty sure I could sue him over, is just desperate to cover his own as. And for that, he's dirt. I don't have an as, and I've never once tried to cover my as. I might do a rant about this on YouTube. As far as I'm aware, this person hasn't done a video on me. But if you're thinking about it, go for it. But trust me, I'm going to make a video on you in return. And I'm not going to be holding anything back. As for Scorn, I'm sorry for everything you had to go through. And may you rest in peace. He is fine. God, you guys are so overly dramatic. Whew, okay, we're done with the final journal. But before I end this video off, I'm going to go through a few of the comments. So some guy with a deleted DeviantArt account says, and all because he didn't get a certain call. Nope. And then he blames it on someone he's not met. And I still haven't met them to this day. And that person was in deep depression. Well, I wouldn't know. I didn't know about their existence. Let me say this to him. You assaulted the wrong person, you bastard user. And I hope you're happy for now, because you're now going to get fully done, suspended, or even banned. Well, I quit DA, and from the looks of it, you did too. And you're right, I did assault the wrong person. And that person is no one. Well, there is one comment or comment thread that I do like on here. It's from SM7799. Man, this brings back some nostalgia. During the whole Halo war with I Hate Everything versus Hellblaze in the DeviantArt community, Hellblaze turned her sights on me and came after me instead of I Hate Everything. This guy was like pretty much the only person who was being a moderate. He doesn't believe things without proof, and I really admire that. And luckily, even now, he's still being a moderate. SM7799, I really gotta say thanks, and if you need anything, just ask. Do you need a shout out? Do you need money? I'm your man. In fact, right now, everyone go follow this guy on DeviantArt. Oh, and if you want to know about the Hellblaze situation, that will be a video for another time. Well, this depressed me. I used to talk to Sio a long time ago, but all he ever did was brag and say my art wasn't good enough. So eventually, I blocked him. I'm not really the one to brag, and my artwork is completely shit. I hire people to do art for me. This is just like with the Spoctor situation. When Stories and Pentagrin did everything to him, so many people were turning against him and spreading all these lies about him, just so they could get a little clout. I can't believe he was actually this nasty. Well, you shouldn't believe it because there's no proof, but whatever. I'm glad I never got to know him. Well, I'm also glad I never got to know you, because you're someone who just blindly believes people without any proof. Okay, I'm just gonna do one more comment, because this is getting exhausting. But this last guy is someone who commented on a lot of my stuff. I was friends with him in the Death Battle DeviantArt community. Oh my god! I was one of his watchers, and I never knew what was happening. Oh dear god! I don't know what to say. This is beyond words. And horrible. And after reading some of the comments, I don't know Scorn, but I'm glad he's alive. It just amazes me that someone can be friends with you for so long and turn against you because they see a journal with no evidence on it. But they're saying bad stuff about you, so it must be true. I mean, after all, why would this random person lie?
You really think someone would do that? Just go on the internet and tell lies?
Clearly, your friend who's never lied to you is the liar in this situation. Now, I have taken screenshots of all the comments underneath this journal. I might make a follow-up, and when I do, there's a good chance that I'm going to go over them one by one. There are a few people who threatened to call the police on me, and they doxed what city I lived in at the time, and they said they were going to call the police on me because I assaulted a minor. I wonder what the police would have done. Maybe they would have come to my house, saw that there was no evidence, and just left. Now, this was the point where I was going to be done going through everything, and then close with my final thoughts. But it turns out, while I was working on this video, I found even more information about me. They even did an ED article about me, and I suspect Lulu was the one who made it. Again, just like everything else, wouldn't you know it, there is no evidence. It's not very long, only 3 paragraphs, and I've already gone over most of the stuff, so I'm just gonna go over the new bullshit they were spreading about me. Like when they said me and Erin, aka Princess Elizabeth 013, were very close friends. This is not a terrible lie, but it is still a lie. Me and Erin really weren't that close. We only chatted a few times through text. But when they say we were really close, I think they're trying to imply something. Hint, hint, wink, wink. They also said that I tried to make things up to make Erin look good until things got really bad. And then I told her to apologize, which is an outright lie. From the start, I told her she should apologize. And I knew about Erin when this stuff was getting bad, not before. What's with all these freaking lies all the time? God, you guys are such freaking freaks. They're trying to make it seem that I was friends with Erin before everything started, which is false. I met her through the situation, and I barely talked to her. At the end of this paragraph, they say, because of him, he has been doing the work for her. I don't really know what they're implying. Maybe they're trying to say that I was behind it all. I just don't know anymore. Okay, now we're on the last paragraph. In March 2015, he joined sides with Gigabit. I don't know who that is. Maybe I did talk to this person, but aside from the Princess Elizabeth situation, I don't remember joining sides with anyone. And even with Princess Elizabeth, I didn't really join her side, I just told her to apologize, and that was pretty much it. Maybe I know this person, but it's so long ago it's hard to keep track of everything. And he protected her on DA, so no one can't hurt her feelings. Who wrote this? When things were doing a lot better until the worst, CO video call on Skype along with someone else, the friends of Jinx Drown, who spread a self-deletion to a girl who was willing to commit self-deletion. WTF. What? I'm completely lost. I have no idea what's going on. Are they trying to say that I tried to convince a girl who was thinking about committing self-deletion that she had the ability to commit self-deletion? I have no idea what's going on. But better yet, CO Author turned out to be the bad guy, and a sick fuck that people thought he was once the good guy. Or maybe I was the good guy and people just spread around lies about me. You ever thought about that? But he never was. People were very angry and very pissed off at CO Author that he told Scorn to commit self-deletion while chatting on Skype? I never talked to Scorn, and I never told anyone to commit self-deletion ever. It is unknown that Scorn is no longer with us, or still around? The answer is he is. You idiot. CEO Author was vanquished from the internet forever. Boy, that didn't age well. And he was never heard anymore until today. But why, you may ask? Too much drama and lols? Reasons. And then they link to a lot of the journals I covered. But there is one I haven't gone over yet, and we're gonna go over that one now. So the journal takes the comments between me and Jinx Drowned. It starts with me saying, I started feeling depressed all the time because of these new pills I was taking. But at the time I didn't know that. So I was always trying to talk to people. I did feel like I was asking to talk too much, so I asked, am I being too push? If I am, tell me. But no one ever told me. After a little, Lily blocked me. I had a panic attack and told Jinx. Yeah, as a lot of you know, I sometimes post stuff before spell checking it. And back then I was even worse than I am now. Jinx did a journal on me and said that if I said sorry, she will take it down. So I did. But there was this guy who said he was going to commit self-deletion over me, and I didn't know the guy. Jinx said this to me, quotation marks representing what she said. If Scorn really did commit self-deletion because of you, then bring him back to me, and maybe that might fix it. Yeah, bringing people back to life might fix things. She goes on to say, you are the most disgusting piece of shit I have ever seen. You just took away someone so precious to me because you wanted your 15 minutes of fame again. Well, now I'm motherfucking just a robot. I got about 15 years of fame. Jinx, stop putting yourself on such a high pedestal. Compared to me, you're a nobody. You're revolting. You disgust me. You make me want to vomit. I knew from the moment I saw you, you were terrible. I just wished I stayed away from you. You're poison itself, and you deserve to go through the same suffering Scorn went through. Well, I actually went through the suffering, and Scorn didn't. That's, kind of funny that you want me to do that, but I guess it's okay when you do it. Including the hurt of wanting to commit self-deletion. Well, I already did. Happy you led him to do. Never talk to the guy, still don't know who it is. Shut the fuck up, Jinx. I never wanted to see your piece of shit self anywhere near me again. Jinx goes on to say, and Lily wanted me to paste this here. It's a message from her to you. Okay, you piece of crap. Let me tell you that you have driven my friend to self-deletion. Do you realize that that could put you in jail? You're welcome to call the cops. They'll probably laugh at you. I hope you're proud of yourself, you selfish asswipe. I should have blocked you long ago, but I regret not doing it sooner. I am so angry at you right now. You have lost all your chances of ever gaining my respect at all. Oh no, not in your respect. Not like I ever wanted it or anything. You can kiss your reputation goodbye, and now I can give it a hug and welcome it home. Because now you are known as a Mortimer. Then it's me saying, then I tried to commit self-deletion. I ended up in a mental hospital. Yeah, the ones where they put you in if you're causing harm to yourself or others. For 3 days, and they told me that the pills I was taking was making me depressed. The fuck? Oh yeah, no pill ever had the side effect of making you depressed. That has never happened, ever. So yeah, this was a few of the horrible things Jinx and Lily said to me. I never wanted to hurt anyone, but as you can clearly see from these comments, they really wanted to hurt me. Like the pain they're wishing upon me, even now I want to wish it upon them. It's just so messed up. Well, it's nice to see that I actually quoted something I actually said for once, but let's see how they twist it in their own favor. So in the comments section, this 123 guy asked, wait, so the regular text is CO, question mark. So did he say this? Then he quotes all the insults Jinx has said to me, like, I never want to see your piece of shit self anywhere near me again. Then the person asked, or was it you? To which Channel 11 responds, yeah, he said that. By the way, I read his name wrong, it's Channel Even. I was watching way too much Ben 10, and for some reason I thought there was 2 L's. Now, technically I said it in reference to what Jinx said. I was quoting her after all. But he's trying to make it sound like I was the one who said all those things, not Jinx. I didn't say that to anyone. I was quoting someone else. This stuff happened throughout the entire drama. I felt really terrible for everything that was happening to me, and I wanted to end my own existence. And instead of taking responsibility for what they did to me, they tried to make me look like I was the one doing that. To other people who I haven't even talked to. How much you want to bet if Jinx punched me in the face, he would say, "Oh my god, Seo just punched Jinx in the face." The fact that you guys are this manipulative, and that the people who are listening to you are this gullible is scary. Boy, this guy again. Not one bit honest, now that his White Knights are attacking Jinx. Wait a second, so it's not one bit honest, because my White Knights, which I never seen before, I don't remember pretty much anyone defending me, are attacking Jinx, it means I'm not honest. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. What is his current account? I want to give this guy a piece of my mind. Well, my current account is just a robot. My comment section is right down there. Leave whatever comment you want. I thought he was cool, but now I think he's a big pile of shit. So, if you think someone is cool, you believe whatever rumors you hear about them. To everybody watching, watch out if this guy ever calls you cool. He's hiding, ain't he? Wow, just pathetic. Does he still have you unblocked on there? Send a message from me, can you? Like, can you blame me for going into hiding? It's clear that you didn't want to hear my side of the story, you just wanted to insult me, and that's it. I wonder if this person is Mama Miki. If so, that would be fantastic. To be honest, seeing how he has White Knights, I did? Where? I certainly didn't see any. I've only seen so far one guy defending me. And he wasn't being a White Knight, he was actually being pretty logical. That are now attacking Jinx. Again, so far we've seen one, and he was very logical. We're going to see another person later on, but they're also being very logical. Threatening to make videos on her, and so on. Oh, really? They are? Where are all the videos on Jinx? I have seen none so far. And how he has done nothing about them attacking her like this? Like what? I'm the one getting slandered! I'm the one getting called all these things! What has Jinx been through? And I swear, this whole drama, so many people were wanting to defend me early on, but I told them not to because I knew it was going to be used against me. Anything anyone did to defend me, I would get blamed for it. And what has Jinx done? Lied about me and slandered me. I'm not in control of these White Knights, who I don't even know exist, and I'm not in control of my fan base now. No one is. So, no one's allowed to attack Jinx, but everyone's allowed to attack me. Got it. God, maybe this person is Mama Miki. Remember when she was defending Icy Hazard and saying things like, "How dare you attack my friend? She's been my friend for over 4 years now." I'm leaning towards he's full of shit right now. So, because people are attacking someone, well, allegedly attacking someone who is slandering me, it means I'm full of shit. That makes no sense. Especially since this isn't the first time he's done this. Oh god, there's another scorn. I wonder who it is. If he's truly sincere, then he needs to tell his little White Knights to back off. Alleged White Knights who I haven't seen. And I already was doing that early on, telling people not to fight back because I would get blamed for it, and it just made me look more guilty. I'm doomed if I do, I'm doomed if I don't. All I can do is get on my knees and elbows, open up my little asshole, and let you guys fuck me till I die. This is his issue, and he needs to face up to it like an adult. I was constantly apologizing for things I didn't do, and you guys still said it wasn't good enough. Here's an idea, stop accusing me of stuff. And I'm no longer going to face up to things I haven't done. Not let them do it for him. But Jinx can have as many people do it for her because whatever. Not to mention, he's in his damn 20s and he's harassing a minor. I think I was 19 at the time, but even if I was 20 or whatever, Heather was in her damn 30s at the time and harassing Princess Elizabeth, who was 14, aka a minor. But it's only bad when I do it. Oh wait, sorry, that's wrong. I'd even do that, so that doesn't even work. It's one thing to call out a kid on BS, like say with Aaron. Aaron is Princess Elizabeth 013, and as you can clearly see from what I've said earlier, it's only bad when I do it, but not them. But to constantly harass a kid, which you guys were doing to Princess Elizabeth, and I never harassed Scorn once, never sent him a message, once, to the point where they wanted to end their existence? Oh, you mean like what you guys did with me? That is both creepy and not cool. I totally agree. Jinx Drowned, Lulu, and Geeky Girl Heather are creepy and uncool, and they need to apologize for what they did to me and actually act like adults for once in their lives. Now, most of the comments on here are just people saying things along the lines of, he's fishing for pity, he's making it up, and other stuff like that. It's amazing that I have all this evidence of all these things that have happened to me, but because Scorn said, I think I might lose my friends, he's totally not making it up, and he deserves all the pity points. So the guy who really has a hate boner for me finally links to a comment thread where one of my quote-unquote white knights is attacking Jinx. Let's go see it. If you want to know what his comment said, well, you can pause it and read it for yourself. I'm not going to go over it. It's just repeating stuff I've already debunked. Now, this person is insulting Jinx a little, but they're mostly complaining that Jinx and other people are not hearing both sides of the story, and they're trying to convince this guy who has a hate boner for me to talk to me to hear both sides of the story. With all the comments, you can just pause it and read it. I might go over it in a future video, but this video is already long enough. The guy with a hate boner for me says he's looking at the quote-unquote proof, but all he does is link to journals that are talking shit about me and they have no evidence. This one person comes in and starts saying that they're so sick of everything and that they're not defending me for whatever reason. To which the person defending me asked a question, are you really on Jinx's side? And the guy who has a hate boner for me somehow translated this as them forcing people to pick sides. During this whole situation, I wasn't the only one getting lied about. If you defended me, people would lie about you, and then after I left, the Heather Pack and all these other guys started going after them. But in this long comment thread, I have one comment I want to go over. And that's the last person involved in this situation, the biggest one. Chaos55T. Yep, that Chaos55T, the YouTuber. She wasn't really involved until the end. So when I say she's the big one, I mean in terms of her audience and not in terms of, well, someone who did a lot of bad stuff to me. Lily did it? Question mark. CEO held me hostage in a call, and he threatened to commit self-deletion if I left. Yeah, I heard this one a lot back then, and it's total bullshit. I remember what I said to Chaos55T. I was at my breaking point. My mental state wasn't really at its finest. And I will admit I cried a lot and I said, please don't go. I just stay for a little bit longer, please. But I never said I would end my existence if she left. If she wanted to leave, she could have. There is no way you can hold someone hostage over the internet. And besides, all of you think I'm lying and making it up, so clearly you didn't believe me if I truly did say that. But if you truly felt that way, Chaos55T, I'm sorry for how you mistranslated me. But at least I can understand the miscommunication here. After this, she starts blatantly lying about me. He even told me to report every single journal/rant ever made about him. That is a bold-faced fucking lie, Chaos. I never said anything like that, and you fucking know it. I said, could you defend me from the journals being made about me? You have a big audience. I didn't say report any of them. I could have reported them myself. And if I asked you to report it, have I asked other people to report it? You're the only one with this story. God, this is just like with the Spoctor situation with Stories in Pentagrin. Everybody started lying about him so they could get a few brownie and victim points. And tried to force me to create a journal about how much he did right over wrong. This is true. I came to her house and put a gun up to her head and said, "You better make the journal or I'm gonna pull the trigger." Oh no, wait, hang on, there was a typo in my script. I just requested her to make a journal defending me. I thought she was on my side at the time, but apparently she wasn't. I told him it would be impossible. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. In fact, it is possible. I'm doing it now. Then he claimed to let me go if I do that. I wasn't holding on to you. I just asked a few times. That's it. Chaos, I gave you a chance 5 years ago. I'm not giving you another one. I had to get Lily in the call to help me get out. Yes, I asked you to make the journal twice, but I also asked if you could let me talk to Lily. Because Lily blocked me, and then Jinx was talking shit about me. I just want to explain things like an adult. Sorry that I want someone to unblock me after they block me and then get their friend to start talking shit about me. Lily didn't start it. CO did. Nope, wrong. She absolutely started it. She ran and cried to Jinx because she couldn't defend herself. Funny that you guys say I do it, but you guys are the ones who do it. Like everything else you accused me of. He also made my friend Mizzy White commit self-deletion. Wow, another person who I haven't talked to, or at least don't think I have talked to, also ended their existence over me. But if this is true, Chaos 55T, it's 5 years later, you better have some evidence. You know, I was really thinking of giving Chaos 55T a chance at the start of this comment, but now, accusing me of something like this is just way too far, and completely unforgivable. IRL friend, and yes, he successfully committed self-deletion. Oh, so now it's one of your real-life friends. It's funny how they didn't bring this up, at least as far as I know, but you claim they brought it up, just like Jinx did with Scorn. Was this person even on the internet? That would be convenient, that way you don't have to prove anything. But yeah, Chaos 55T is an absolute nut job. I think she might be an otherkin or something because she believes in this green ghost that was above humans but below angels and demons, and he would come visit her and drink this gray goop out of her fridge, and she would drink it as well for powers or something. She said because of my birthday I was a reincarnation of a griffin or something, or maybe it was a phoenix. I remember when she told Lily that she could move in with her and her family, and Lily asked her parents, "Can I move in with these random strangers on the internet?" And her parents said, "No, you can't, that's crazy, don't do that." To which Chaos 55T responded with, "Wow, what they're doing is illegal." I didn't say anything because I knew no matter what I said they would get pissed off, but her parents are not forcing her to stay there, Chaos. It's crazy to move in with someone because they said a few nice things to you over the internet. I even checked 2 obituaries to see if this guy even existed, and guess what? I got no results. I don't even think Scorn existed, to be honest. I think these guys were just their sock puppet accounts. So I decided to do a little digging to see if it was a sock puppet or not. In the Scorn is Dead journal, which Nummy Pixels aka Jinx made, you can see her having a conversation with someone named God's Geek, who might be one of Heather's alternative accounts, possibly. And she links to Scorn's new DeviantArt account, which has the name XToxicYoshiX and has a black Yoshi as the avatar. Let's check it out. And there has been no activity on this account for 5 or 6 years. The first follower of Toxic Yoshi is Jinx. The first person Toxic Yoshi followed was Jinx. The first person to comment on it was Jinx. And the only art post is pixel art of Sonic the Hedgehog. And that was posted on May 2nd of 2015, For whenever this video comes out, that will be 5 or 6 years ago. The last journal from Toxic Yoshi is this: I have become mute. In the comments section, he explains that he has been emotionally traumatized. Likely story, I know. Really love how on the art post they said they would be posting more in the future. It's been 5 to 6 years and they still haven't. I say this is pretty conclusive evidence that this is just Jing's sock puppet account. Now, one of the reasons why it took me so long to come out about this story is because I needed to wait. 4 different dramas got me ready for this moment. The Pokemon drama with Doodle Tones and her friends gave me the confidence that I could go up against a group of people by myself, and people would still join my side in the end. The situation with Icy Hazard proved to me just how stupid, hateful, and hypocritical these people are. The situation with Spoctor, Stories of the Pentagrin, showed me just how much these people will lie, and have no soul when it comes to ruining someone's life, and that people are gullible enough, even me and Spoctor, to fall for their lies. And the Sonic 93 situation confirmed that even more to me, but it also showed me that people nowadays are finally willing to stand up to them. Now for my ending thoughts. I went over what I was going to say for the last couple of years, but as you all know, what goes on in your head is a little hard to describe into words. I mostly want to ask Lulu, Geeky Girl Heather, Jinx Drowned, and the rest of them, why? Why did you do this to me? Were you actually threatened by me, someone who didn't even have 100 subs? Was it for fame? That clearly didn't work. I didn't have to ruin anyone's life, and look how far I got. Did you ever think that what you did to me, and what you have done to other people, would eventually come back to bite you in the ass? While you were spreading lies that I assaulted a minor, and tried to ruin my life, did you ever think maybe we're going a little too far? Maybe this is over the top, just because he called someone dollface one fucking time? And to everybody who was believing all the lies about me with no proof, why did you never think to ask my side of the story? Why was the only guy who was being a moderate, who was somewhat defending me, the only person? He had less than 10 watchers. He couldn't make a journal or a video and clear my name. No one would have seen it. What did you think my evil plan was? What did you think I was capable of? You kept on calling me such an evil, manipulative liar, and then you would call me pathetic. Pick one or the other, please. Am I an evil mastermind, or am I an idiot? Geeky Girl Heather, you are hands down the most evil woman I have ever had the displeasure of knowing. And Lulu, you ain't that much better. I wonder what will happen once this video goes up. Will people say sorry for what they did? Will people turn against me? Will Lulu leave? Will she try to apologize? Will she come after me? And all of that goes for all the other people as well. I have no idea, but it's time I tell my story. What finally gave me the courage to come forward was when I saw this happening to other people. People said sorry for what they did to Akai, and for what they did to Yoshi. And shortly after the whole Sonic 93 situation, I found out that Lulu and the rest of the Heather pack has done this to over a dozen other people, and I realized there's a chance that I wasn't in the wrong. To Lulu and the rest of the Heather pack, if you want to come forward and talk with me, you can. I'm not going to block you, and I'm going to stand firm. I heard that Broken Muse, along with Beatrice, got the exact same hate from the group that I did a few weeks after I left. I know what you went through, because you put me through it. If you want to come talk to me about what happened, my door is open. I don't know if I can forgive any of you. But now it's time for everybody to come forward and tell their story about what happened. I heard the name's Junkie went through a similar situation with the group that I did. Ironically, he led to Lulu on his channel so they could talk about cancel culture. The irony, considering Lulu canceled me, but whatever. For everybody who went through what I did, just know that you're not alone. You don't have to be afraid. Please come forward. This is just a robot. No. This is Luke, signing out. have seen the glory of the cleansing and feminazis too. We criticize reactionists in hopes they get the boot. Just a roll.
Luke,